Welcome to Practical Privacy. Today we're going to look at the challenges of being global data protection leader, and I have Vicky Owens with me, Senior Data Privacy and Compliance Counsel with SkyShowtime. Welcome, Vicky. How are you?
Thank you very much, Orla. Lovely welcome. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good to hear. So this is a very common challenge. So maybe tell me a little bit more about your particular challenge.
Sure. So I think for me, there's constant changes with laws, with regulations. There are cultural differences when it comes to data. And obviously, there are differences in approach with different organizations, whether you're a technology organization, whether you're a law firm, or everything else in between. So I think they are the challenges. It's constant moving feast, and every day is different.
Yeah, definitely. So tell me literally how you started out. What were the strategies you tried in the beginning, let's say, that were not effective?
Um, I think for me, I came with the approach of I'm a privacy professional and I will focus on it from a data privacy perspective, which works with stakeholders, other business teams if they understand data privacy, but there are some that don't. And that makes it challenging because you make the mistake that, well, I'll just keep pushing this same position and narrative, and it starts to get stuck and doesn't work. And you realize that actually you need to take a different approach. So I think my previous experience has been that if you come at it purely from a data privacy perspective, it doesn't get you very far, unfortunately.
Yeah, because the people you're trying to talk to are not data protection professionals.
Exactly. And they have different priorities and expectations with their roles, right?
Yeah. So how did you overcome this then? What did you do that did actually work?
For me, where it's been successful or has been where I've actually sat down and understood the teams better. What are their priorities for the year? What are their focuses? Where are they spending their budget? And actually, how do we make data privacy enable them rather than be a blocker to them? And a good example for, I've had previously with HR, their focuses are on we need to look at performance reviews, we need to look at onboarding new employees, we need to look at promotions or salary, enhancements or pay rises or whatever it may be. So if I hit them with a privacy program which covers lots of other different things like security and technology, which is still important, but for those individuals in HR, that's not what their concern is. They want to be able to report on we have this many females in the organization, we have this many at a certain age. So hitting them with other information doesn't really help. And I found if you really sort of focus on what the different department needs, what the stakeholders needs, and what their business priorities are, it really helps.
Yeah, their priorities are not yours, and your priorities are not theirs.
Absolutely.
So if you were to go back and start again, what would you potentially do differently?
I would definitely spend some time getting to know the organization first. And I think it's very easy when you come into a new role, you're excited, you're energized, you want to just get your sort of, sleeves rolled up and get going. But you need to have a bit of let's just take a step back. What is this organization about? What is their goal in the next 12, 18 months? And then how do I fit into that rather than I want to do this and this is my goal for the next 12, 18 months and you need to fit in around me. And I think that's really helped.
So one piece of advice that you would share with your peers.
Definitely get to know the business, get to spend some time with the key stakeholders before you try and implement any major changes. And I think the biggest thing is, Orla, you can't fix everything. So prioritize.
Yeah, great advice. Great advice. Thanks a million, Vicky. Really appreciated you taking the time.
Pleasure. Great to speak to you.
And that's it for today. If you like, be sure to subscribe and share. Until next time.